Manx Radio Saturday Live Lounge with Christy DeHaven.
Keep me satisfied. Apparently they're having a bit of a change of direction from here on in. So that's the last of theirs. That's sort of like that kind of electro disco kind of vibe. If you check out the video, the choreography for the video is brilliant. It's well worth watching. I might try and copy some moves later. No, I'm not going to. I'm not. I might break something. Anyway, it is Christy in the Live Lounge with you through till 6 p.m. here on FM. I do have studio guests. I've got half of OK Computer with me. I'm just going to go across the mics and just get you to say, hi, I'm so-and-so and I do such and such. Go on, we'll start over here.
Hi, I'm Ian. I kind of do Johnny Greenwood's thing in OK Computer.
Hi, I'm Dave Brew. I'm the main vocalist in OK Computer, trying to emulate Tom York.
And I'm Jazz, and I'm pretty much do Tom York's finger work.
Oh, dear me. You did say you've stopped smoking, and so you might, I thought you'd be less rowdy.
It's PG humour.
He always has a good way
It
with
is
words,
PG
James.
humour, it is.
I mean, your T-shirt could be classed as PG or not, depending on how you interpret
I mean,
the
what
word.
does it say? I
I
can't quite make it out. What does it say?
It says moist, James, is what it says. It says, it does, that's what, it's just a word. It's just a word.
Just
it
a
does
word.
make everybody kind of cringe a little bit, but it is just a word at the end of the day. It does make me cringe, though, I have to say. Thank you. Hey, listen, before we move on, I do want to talk to you about that Crawlboard song, because I get the impression that the lads from Crawlboard are somewhat influenced by Radiohead, certainly Tom York. Ian, what did you make of it?
I loved it, yeah. I'm not sure there's a band of it. I've heard a couple of bands do kind of Radiohead tracks at their the Quids In Battle of the Bands. Some band did Reckoner, it might have been them.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I love the sound of that. You can definitely hear the influence of a little bit, but it sounded original as well, yeah.
What do you make of it, Dave?
Yeah, it's very good. Liked it.
Yeah,
A
and
lot,
I
yeah.
think it's that thing, isn't it, Jazz? The young scene over here. I mean, they're just getting better and better, aren't
Oh,
they?
they are. It's absolutely superb.
Yeah.
There are some quality musicians over here. There really are.
I mean, you've got the groups like Soundcheck and Rock Project as well. They do such good work, giving them an avenue to play and develop. And
certainly some of the new music that I'm hearing up at the Creative Hub where we rehearse. It is pretty superb.
Yeah,
Some of the sound up there is absolutely tremendous.
Just sort of filtering through all the little boxes there. It's great, isn't it? Well, listen, we're going to chat more with these guys because they've got a special gig coming up, a fundraiser coming up that's going to be in Peel. If you like your Radiohead, you don't want to miss it. It's one of the best albums they're going to be doing, plus other bits and pieces as well. So we'll talk to them more after this. Coming up, we've got that new... It is Rockman. So you're listening to the Live Lounge here on FM. All the sports going on AM 1368. But here we are talking all about Radiohead now because I've got half of OK Computer with me. So we've got Ian, we've got Dave, and we've got Jamie, aka Jazz, aka Moist T-shirt. So we're missing three of them. James and Ed and Chris aren't here this evening. I'm assuming they've got very important things to do, Ian.
Well, we're rehearsing pretty heavily this weekend because the gig's next Saturday. So we had a rehearsal last night, a rehearsal this morning and this afternoon. And we've got another one tomorrow. Yeah. So I think they're probably making sure the families are happy as well.
Yeah, spending a bit of time with loved ones. I'm not surprised. Dave, this is quite a thing because you're doing, certainly in the first half of the set next week, which we'll come to where and when the gig and everything is, you're taking on OK Computer itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we sort of did about half of OK Computer anyway in our normal set. So we've had to sort of learn about half of the album, and then we're doing it in the correct order. So that's the first part of the set next week. Yeah.
What are some of the most challenging ones that you've added?
For me, the most challenging is the Tourist. Technically, for me, it is definitely the most challenging. Yeah.
Because it's quite the voice, Tom. But I mean, you pride yourself in obviously trying to. You don't obviously, you're not being Tom, but you're getting that sort of tone and getting the sort of lifts and everything that he does, aren't you? And it's quite a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I know I've listened to him, incessantly for years and years and years, and I suppose it just sort of it does rub off on you, I think.
Yeah.
I do love his voice, and he's just got this lovely way of effortlessly going from sort of normal range into falsetto and then back, and you can't actually hear where it changes.
Yeah, normally you hear a little lift or a break, don't you? But you don't in
No,
Tom.
That was sort of that's one of the most challenging things to try and get is to do that without a break, so it's seamless.
Yeah, I mean it must be quite punishing for the voice to sort of do a whole gig of Tom, especially.
Can be.
Yeah,
it can be. Yeah, it can, and I mean, I do use in-ears, and I've done so for probably about 10, 15 years, and the reason I started doing it was because if you're struggling to hear yourself, you tend to then force your voice, and then it gets strained, and then sometimes, like sort of towards say the last 15 minutes of the set, your voice just goes.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
you
tricky
just-
thing.
You can imagine when you've got 3 guitars, synthesizers, all playing for sonic space. You know, that voice has got to.
Yeah, so that was one of the reasons I started using in-ears, because I can control my own volume in my head, and it's basically then up to the sound engineer what goes out.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the audience probably they're not necessarily aware of this, of what sort of goes into it. And like you're saying, in the amount of stuff that's going on stage at the time, I mean, jazz is being Tom's fingers. So, you know, I mean, that's...
Right T-shirt, I think.
So what has been most challenging for you with this, the new, the added songs in the set then?
It's not necessarily the songs that are challenging. It's the new pedal board.
Oh,
And having to
hello.
incorporate... I mean, I'm an acoustic player and have been for practically all my guitar playing life, but with this band, it's having to do things with your feet as well as your hands, you know, so that's a new thing.
You've got
So,
toys to play with.
Yeah, well, you know, you can't even need another foot, really, do you?
Yeah, it is a challenge. It definitely is a challenge, and it would be because it is Radiohead. You're going to play something live for us shortly, which I'm very excited about because it's one of my favourite songs. No pressure. But what I am going to do now is I'm not going to play something from OK Computer because I know in the second half of your set you're going to do some other stuff as well. Before I play the song that I've particularly chosen, Dave, just tell us where and when this gig is, and then we're going to chat to you more about it in a little bit.
Okay, the Centenary Centre in Peel. Next Saturday, the 22nd. The doors open, I think, at 7 o'clock. And then we've got Callum Rowe supporting us at 7:30. We'll be on stage shortly after 8. And then we'll run through OK Computer, which will take around about an hour. Then about a 20-minute break. And then we'll finish the set off with about another hour.
Very excited.
Yeah.
And it's all raising money for Hospice. So
Yes,
we'll find out more about that in a little bit. But I just had to put this on because I don't play it very often. And you are here, so it's a great excuse. This is Jigsaw. Well, that was good, but I was very distracted there because I was just getting a little preview of what is about to happen now. We are going to get a live acoustic version of a Radiohead song. I mean, Dave Brew, that's quite a challenge itself, doing a live acoustic version of Radiohead. Which one have you chosen to do?
Lucky.
Oh, this is gonna give me goosebumps, I can guarantee you. So we've got half of OK Computer with us. They are going to do Lucky for us live. Take it away, guys.
I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. This time I feel my luck catching. Kill me so. I'm yours.
So good. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much. That was half of OK Computer. I mean, how you do that with half a band, I do not know, but it sounded amazing. We'll talk more to them. Do you know what? I was going to put Paranoid Android on now, but I feel like it's a bit too soon. I feel like we should finish with that. So what we'll do instead is I'm just going to put on some Fleetwood Mac first, okay? And then we'll talk more to these guys. Great song. Fleetwood Mac and Rhiannon. Faster Mitre Bonzo is listening in and says that my favourite Radiohead tune is the Trumpton Wickertastic Burn the Witch. I've got that actually, but I'm not going to play it this evening, but I do have that on the old cart wall here, Bonzo. He's saying, I suggest to the lads they put it in their set. Do you do Burn the Witch? Yeah.
We're not doing it at the Centenary Centre.
No.
We quite often open with it.
Yeah, there you go. So you've just got to go next week, Bonzo. And also, Critch has been in touch and said, just been to see the moon in the Peel Cathedral there. I know there was lots of musicians going to see the moon. I think Joe Collister was in there earlier as well, saying can't wait for the Pigs gig in there. And he's currently throwing the ball for Badger on Fenella. Lily Walter is apparently on the island. Oh, Lily! And so he said, I'll ask her to go see OK Computer. So there you go. So he's going to go see OK Computer with Lil. Critch, lovely to hear from you, and do give Lily a big hug from me. So we are chatting with Ian and Dave and Jazz Jamie from OK Computer, who are with us. We just heard them do Lucky Live, and it was a thing of wonder, I have to say. Again, Ian, just remind us where and when this gig is next week.
So it's next Saturday. We're at Peel Centenary Centre. Doors open at 7 o'clock. Got the amazing Callum Rowe. He's going to open up for us. Then we're going to do the first set is OK Computer in its entirety in order, and then the second set we'll do a few favourites from across the different albums.
Excellent stuff. And Dave, this is raising money for Hospice. Why did you want to support Hospice on this one?
Well, my son James actually works for the fundraising department of Hospice. That's one reason, but. My mother also was actually looked after in the original hospice that was a building in Douglas, in the centre.
Oh,
of Douglas.
yes, yeah.
It's quite a little while ago now, so both
Kensington.
of those reasons, really.
Dorothy Panton House, I think it was called back in the day.
Was it?
Yeah. And as you know, we were talking off air about this actually, Jazz, weren't we? We were saying that pretty much everyone's been affected in some way or might well be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's important for you as well to support it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's everybody understands what it means if hospice is involved, and you know, some people don't have family and stuff around them, so you know,
isn't it some sort of statistic that 1 in 3 people will actually be affected by some sort of terminal illness?
I think for cancer now, unfortunately, I think it's actually 1 in 2, which is quite shocking. Yeah, so it is. And the thing that Hospice do, I mean, like you're saying there, Jamie, as well, is that it's the people are amazing, aren't they? They're just such wonderful people.
Yeah, my dad died of cancer, and when he was going through that process, Hospice were just amazing.
Yeah.
You treat them with such dignity and just allow them to kind of get the best out of their life in those last kind of, you know, going through an illness like that. I've got nothing but good things to say about Hospice.
So you see, you can go to this gig, you can feel the power of music, which is healing in itself. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. And, you know, Radiohead, the music that they do is so powerful. So we've got OK Computer, who are going to be putting on this fabulous Radiohead gig next week at the Centenary Centre, and it's raising money for Hospice. So, I mean, it's a brilliant thing.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win. And then what's next for you? What comes up after this, Dave?
We're headlining the Full Moon Festival on the Friday night, I think. I'm not sure what the date is.
Oh, fantastic.
I can't think of the date.
No, I can't remember the date.
I'll look it up and I'll mention it in a bit. But that's a good one. So, yeah, that'll be a really good gig as well. Well, listen, thanks ever so much for coming in. I did say we'd leave you with Paranoid Android. It has to be done, really, doesn't it? Because it is one of the greatest songs of all time, hands down. Full stop. It's the law. Quite right. It's the law. All right, then. So for you all, thank you for coming in. And for anyone else who loves them, which I know a lot of you do.
Manx Radio Saturday Live Lounge with Christy de Haven.